Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast we upload on the internet occasionally when we feel like it. My name is Robbie Pendell, and with me is my co-host Connor. Say something, Connor. He's still with us, don't worry. So, it's the end of the year, or maybe it's the beginning of the year, depending on when I upload this. But, I think with the year ending, there's been a lot of franchises ending this year as well. We both saw the ending of the Rambo franchise with the new Rambo movie and the new Star Wars movie. So what's a better time to talk about those two franchises than right now? So here's our double review for two movies that came out this year. Rambo V, Last Blood, and Star Wars 9, Rise of the Skywalkers. Or is it just one Skywalker?
It's just Rise of Skywalker.
Just one. There's only one Skywalker.
Yep. Okay, so we'll start off with Rambo Last Blood since that'll be really quick. And contrary to what Robbie said, I'm the one that actually saw it.
Yeah. It's true. I have not seen the movie. Yep. But I saw the trailer twice, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about it back in, what was that, like June or July?
July, somewhere in there.
Okay. So I finally saw it like 3 or 4 months later. Would have seen it in theaters, but I don't know, I just kind of got too busy. It happens.
It's called having a life.
Yeah. So just a quick overview of the plot. So Rambo's living on a farm in Arizona. He does, he trains show horses or something with his, I think it's supposed to be like his housekeeper's granddaughter. They never really explain who this, there's some old Hispanic lady that lives with him and her granddaughter that lives in her house, but that's beside the point. But he trains show horses, and the granddaughter is going off to college, but she wants to find her actual father, who's apparently a big piece of shit. And Rambo and her grandmother tell her not to. She goes anyway because she has a friend there who allegedly found him. Pretty much what happened. Well, what you expect to happens. The father actually turns out to be a piece of shit. She gets bummed out, and then her and her friend go to a bar. She gets roofied and taken into
child trafficking thing?
No, not child trafficking, but along the same prostitution ring. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, a Mexican prostitution cartel. So Rambo, I guess a couple days later, finds out she didn't go down there or didn't return. Because I think she was supposed to go to a friend's house or something.
Mm-hmm. That's what they always do.
Yep, and then she went to Mexico instead. Never really say how close to the border they are, but yeah. So, and then he goes down there. And
so it sounds like this is the same plot as the Taken franchise.
That would be a very accurate way of describing it, because he finds the cartel, he kind of gets beaten up by them and stuff. There's a throwaway investigative reporter character that kind of helps him out a bit in the most minuscule of ways, and it pretty much just you don't really care if I spoil it, do you?
No, I don't care. Spoilers for the movie.
There's one scene he finds out where their main brothel is. He goes there, and I shit you not, all he has is a hammer, so he beats the shit out of all the guards there. Well, not beats the shit out of them, he kills them.
Yeah.
With a hammer.
There's blood coming out of the head.
Yeah, and tries to free all the prostitutes, even though they're all afraid and stuff. They don't leave, and he finds the girl who they've been introducing to heroin and stuff to form a dependency and whatnot. Finds her. She dies on the car ride back because I guess he doesn't think to go take her to a hospital. And he, from there, what the heck?
We're still live, don't worry.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird. But so then his goal from that point on is just to destroy the cartel, and he does that. Because like it's run by two brothers. One of them, like he finds the house of one of them, like sneaks in and cuts his head off, and the other brother finds it, and then like he left some sort of calling card for him, I think, and he sets up like his farm to be like a death trap. Home
kind of
Alone
a
type
Skyfall
trap.
type deal.
Yeah, Skyfall type deal, except much more lethal. Because another thing, he's got a bunch of tunnels he dug like underneath it. But so yeah, he gets them to come back there, and yeah, he kills all of them.
Yep.
And he almost dies himself, but he doesn't die. He like rides off into the mountains or something. It's kind of weird. But yeah, just. So overall, like my opinion of it, like I guess a rating I'd give to it is like a 6.5 to like a 7. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable movie. It's just that a lot of stuff happens that doesn't make sense. Like it seems a lot like a what if scenario if he like came back to society and sort of integrated himself a little bit better. Because I didn't notice this until I saw other reviews for it. He's like a lot more talkative than he is in the other movies. He seems a bit more socially like, what's the word? Not inept. The opposite of inept. He seems a lot more like less awkward.
Yeah.
He's able to like hold conversations. He has a lot of like weird, like long, not really monologues where he's like talking to people. So it's kind of different. And, when he initially goes to Mexico, he doesn't really do a good job of hiding himself. He, like, gets found out immediately. A literal beehive of cartel thugs, like, surround him, and he gets beaten up. But at the same time, he's still, he's got all those tunnels that he dug. And, yeah. So I don't know. It's like, a lot of people felt that the last movie, like Rambo 4, annoyingly just titled Rambo, that came out back in like '08, was a pretty good send-off, and this one just doesn't really do anything for his character, which I guess is kind of true, because...
And it kind of leaves it open for more to be made as well.
Yeah, which is, I think, also annoyed a lot of people, because when you say Last Blood, you think it's going to be like the last film. And, he survives at the end. And, I don't know. It's like, I'm fine with that. But, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheap marketing thing.
Yeah. But...
So, based off what you've told me, none of this Rambo movie takes place in the jungle. Is that a first?
No, the third one takes place in the desert.
Oh,
the
okay,
one where
okay.
he's helping out the Mujahideen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's entirely in the desert. But yeah, this one, Arizona, Mexico. I guess it's the kind of the same as that.
Yeah,
that
because there's cheap places to shoot.
Yeah, and actually, in the fourth film, that's where he ended up, because that's where his family lived, or his dad did. And so yeah, but I don't know, like. I don't know if they can really make more films like moving the story forward, because I mean I think Stallone did a decent job in this one. Maybe not so much with the writing, but
that's what to expect after you got punched in the face 100 times in the Rocky movies,
Yeah, like he is talking about doing a prequel to the series, like set before First Blood. Which I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, would it still star him, or would he recast Rambo?
Oh, you'd definitely have to recast Rambo.
Yeah, I would say you'd have to recast. I don't know. I don't know. Stallone seems like the kind of guy who's like, "What? Just put some makeup on. I think I'll look fine."
No, they would definitely have to find someone. I don't know who. Not a name.
You make Arnold Schwarzenegger like his mentor as a child. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
You need to talk with a stupid voice.
Yeah, but other than the story, like a common complaint I've heard is it's just too violent, which if you've seen the fourth movie and know how it ends, it's kind of an absurd claim.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does go over the top. Like the last guy, like the last cartel brother, I'll call him, he literally kills by like pinning him to a wall with his bow and arrow, like an arrow in each limb, and then he like actually like cuts the guy's heart out, like literally cuts the guy's heart out and holds it in front of him. It's like, okay, maybe that is a little bit extreme, but
no, it's symbolic because the cartel cut out his heart symbolically when they kidnapped his friend. So then he has to literally cut out the heart of the cartel.
I kid you not, that's how he justifies it in the film.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But no, then other than that, like when he's taking down all the other guys that came with the cartel brother to kill him, like it's just like what you would expect. I wouldn't, getting hit in the head with a shotgun, I wouldn't expect the guy to be like, ouch, owie, my bones.
Mm-hmm. Got a massive headache.
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, if you've seen the fourth one, like it's kind of like that, like kind of over the top at the end. But surprisingly, I think this is the shortest film in the series.
Oh, really?
So like that's the only part that has like a lot of action, but the movie still kind of moves fast, which I guess is a good thing. There's like some international cut that has like 10 more minutes. I think it has like a different start to it, but I don't think that would change anybody's mind about it too much. An extra 10 minutes, but I don't know. So yeah, I say a 6.5 at worst. It's definitely not the best Rambo. I still think the first one, First Blood, is the best. Still holds up. Second going to, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. So I like the third one a lot more than most people do, but I don't know. The second one's also pretty good. Just for it, even though that's where it started to be more about action than it was about like,
actual war and stuff.
Yeah, like about character. Character development. Yeah. Wow, that took a lot longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah. Oh well. So now we're going to move into Rise of Skywalker.
So there's already been a lot of reviews and stuff put out online about this movie, and it seems like everybody who watches this movie has an opinion about it. But I think it's important to realize that, like in 2007, me and Connor actually used to have Star Wars battles with toy lightsabers in our backyard. And it's also important to notice that, we actually made Star Wars movies long before Disney did using stop motion and Legos. And because of that fact, our opinion is the actual truth about it. Everyone else's opinion is fake. Like, we're the only people that are really allowed to talk about this movie. And you can't argue with us because you still haven't.
Yep. We also actually saw the movie.
Yeah, we also saw the movie.
All right. So where do we begin?
Yeah, holy cow, this movie.
Let's go with the start. So the screen crawl, like Robbie he had seen it a couple of days before I had, so he knew what I was getting into. So we watched the screen crawl with the intro paragraph.
And the first paragraph's like, surprise, the Emperor's back. He's been here the whole time. What's he up to? And you leaned over to me and you said something.
Yep. Actually, it was after the entire thing. And
yeah.
I just looked at Robbie and I said, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Oh no. Because they didn't even try to hide it.
No.
It's like, I know it was in the trailers that
yeah, I mean, but
Palpatine
they never even actually showed Palpatine in the trailers. They just had audio clips from him. So I'm like, well, this could be fake. And they showed they're going back to the second Death Star. So I'm like, maybe it'll just be a Force Ghost type deal. But no, he's just there. And if you want to know how he survived Episode 6, too bad.
Yeah, they actually don't really explain it.
They say there's a line where they're like, yes, he was brought back using cloning and Sith magic. but what?
Yeah.
So the thing is with this movie is like so much of it just comes out of freaking nowhere. Like it hardly even feels like a sequel to some of the other ones, especially when you consider the whole grand like scheme of all 9 movies. And that's probably the movie's biggest flaw.
Yeah.
I think this is the first of the new Star Wars movies that when people talk crap on it, it's probably going to be like legitimate problems with the movies.
Yeah.
Aside from that, though, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, it's if you can turn your brain off long enough, you can like enjoy it at least.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still going to be stuff you're going to think about like afterwards. You're going to be like, why?
Yeah.
How?
It feels like, I mean, the Star Wars movies they've released, a lot of them have felt very different. But so far, all of the Disney Star Wars movies, I say Disney, it's really more Lucasfilm, but whatever. All of the new ones, they felt like they've taken themselves pretty seriously. And this is the first one that just feels like a dumb summer blockbuster.
Yeah. That's a really accurate way of describing it. It's like I looked at you and I looked at I talked to both of you like afterwards. It's like, you know what? This film is to like, the other Star Wars movies what Punisher Warzone is to the rest of the Marvel ones. Yes, it's like got pretty crappy like writing and stuff. But I mean, you turn your brain off and it's like enjoyable at least.
And this one reminds me a lot of a Marvel movie too, just in the aspect of like, at least for like the first 2 acts, like everybody's telling jokes like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like even C-3PO, like C-3PO is really likable in this movie, which no one expected.
Yeah.
And he's telling like jokes the whole time.
Yeah, which is really friggin' weird. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I was kind of annoyed by C-3PO in at least episode 7. I don't remember him much in 8. I don't know why.
He's annoyed me in like every single episode.
Okay.
This is the first one where I'm like, you know what, C-3PO, you're cool now.
Yeah, I haven't watched the prequels in a long time, so I forget.
He's not in those ones very much.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But where's it going with that? But yeah, like they definitely have a more Marvel approach to humor in this one. I know that probably actually kind of I noticed that more with like Last Jedi.
Yeah,
they're starting to do that a bit more, and
Last Jedi does it like a little bit, but this one it's like jokes on top of jokes and everything.
Yeah.
The finale is probably the most ridiculous part, though.
Yep.
So I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. Chances are you have, because it's a Star Wars movie. The final battle, where there's like a whole army of Star Destroyers that are actually Death Stars, and then there's just all these spaceships that come out of nowhere and everything's shooting it, and they're fighting the Emperor. I mean, I guess they're kind of fighting the Emperor. So this part of the movie I still don't fully understand. So there's a big box. The Emperor lives inside of it, and there's like 1,000 of these dudes wearing cloaks. I don't know who these people. You don't even see if like they're like even human. They could be like aliens or something.
No,
they're just like in this room, and like the Emperor is hooked up to some kind of machine.
Makes him look like GLaDOS.
Yeah, he kind of does. He's like, he's hooked up to this machine. There's this big chair, and he's like, "Rey, you are my granddaughter." Which, first off, Rey is his granddaughter. Palpatine was like 60 years old in the Phantom Menace, which I'm pretty sure takes place like 60 years before this movie. So like, I feel like it would make more sense if he was his great grandfather, you know. But again, whatever. You're not supposed to think about those sort of things because, like, if you kill me, then the ceremony will be complete, and you'll be a part of the dark side, and then my spirit will go inside you, and I will have my ultimate form. So first off, that's just some social justice warrior crap right there. Like, the Emperor's ultimate form is a woman. Come on, guys. Come on. What? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I guess the Emperor's plan is to kill himself so he can possess Rey, which apparently ghosts can possess people now in Star Wars. And then he's going to rule the galaxy or something like that.
Pretty much.
But who are all those people in the room? Like, who is anything? and then like after Kylo Ren shows up and they're like, nope, we're good guys now. Then he just like uses some kind of force power where like he sucks the life out of them. And he becomes Emperor Palpatine from Episode 3. And then he shoots the lightning up in the sky.
Yep, it has the best sound effect like you could ever imagine. It's
yeah,
like,
he sticks his fingers up. You're like, oh, you know what he's doing now? He's gonna shoot the lightning. And like, what? That's not the right sound. Lucas Skywalker sounds. What'd you guys do? So, I just don't even know what was happening in the last act.
Yeah, they just wung it.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. It was fun to see Kylo Ren use Luke's lightsaber and Han Solo's blaster in a fight. But it was just it's a movie. It exists.
Yep.
It's not the worst Star Wars. Like it can still claim that. So, what would you rank? Not like rank in order of movies, but like what would you rate this movie?
Well, since I'm still not sure if I've seen Attack of the Clones all the way through. I mean, I definitely haven't in like the last 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely not in my top 5.
No.
Which, I mean, I guess is easy since there's only 9 of them.
Mm-hmm.
9 main ones. But, I don't know.
Yeah. If you had to rank it out of like 5, like 1 being a horrible movie, 5 being a great movie.
I'd say like 2.5.
2.5.
Like right in the middle.
I'm like the smart side of me says like a 3. But like I definitely enjoyed it enough to call it a 4, so I'll just give it a 3 and play it safe.
Okay.
3 out of 5. I always have a hard time ranking new Star Wars movies because I always feel like I put them in the same spot.
Yeah.
This one, I feel like I put it about on par with The Last Jedi, which I have right above Episode 3. So it's somewhere in that range. But I don't know, it feels like whenever a new Star Wars movie comes out, people are like, yeah, it's better than the prequels, but it's worse than all of the originals. And I feel like I'd probably put it maybe a little bit above Last Jedi and below Return of the Jedi. That's probably where I rank it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I change my mind with the rankings all the time.
Yeah, for me, Empire's definitely number 1.
Yeah.
But after that, it's pretty much a toss-up. That's definitely not, like, in the top 5, like I said.
Yeah.
It's definitely closer to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Episode 1 and probably Episode 2 if I actually watch that again. Last Jedi is also Last Jedi is a bit of a toss-up for me because I watched it and I just thought it was so painfully okay.
Yeah, and that's still how I feel about it. Like, the movie's really long, which makes it hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the new one, Rise of Skywalker, is one that you can just pop in and watch whenever you want. Last Jedi, even Force Awakens, like, I really can't even watch those movies unless I'm in the mood for it.
Yeah.
But Last Jedi, it's really good at some parts, and then it's not very good at other parts. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the Rise of Skywalker ever tops the best parts of Last Jedi, but I don't think the bad stuff in Rise of Skywalker is as painful as the worst stuff in Last Jedi. Like, there's stupid stuff that happens in both of them, but
yeah,
one of them is like cracking jokes and has fun action sequences, and the other one is The Last Jedi. Also, one thing I should probably point out was this movie spent a little bit too much time just like, oh, you hated this about The Last Jedi? Well, now it's fixed. I think the most notable scene is when Rey throws the lightsaber and Luke catches it and goes, hey, don't throw this. This needs more respect, because everybody got pissed off when Luke threw his lightsaber in Episode 8, and now he's like, this is a tool of a Jedi. It needs respect. And we can't forget the super awkward scene of Kylo Ren going, look, I was telling the truth when I said your parents were nobody, but what I didn't tell you was that technically your grandparents are actually Palpatine.
That is about how it went down.
I'm trying to think what other scenes were in there just like make people happy. I don't know. There was a lot. It was it was a new Star Wars movie. That's for sure.
Harrison Ford showing up.
Oh yeah,
for
Harrison Ford
2
shows up.
minutes.
Literally everyone. If you were upset about anybody dying, they come back. Nobody dies in this movie, except like the Emperor maybe and Kylo Ren maybe again. It's hard to say, but like freaking Harrison Ford comes back, Luke Skywalker comes back, Princess Leia is in it, even though Carrie Fisher is dead, and a lot of people have said they've done a good job with using deleted scenes of her and like tying them in. I disagree. I think that most of her scenes are kind of awkward and she says stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I would have to rewatch
it. I didn't notice it the first
time,
but the second time I was watching it, I was like, that dialogue was... Well, all of this scene is written around that line of dialogue.
Damn, that had to be annoying.
Yeah.
I thought they just brought her back with CGI like they did for Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. Apparently it was all deleted scenes from Episode 7. Because I think she was originally going to be in the movie a lot more, but then they decided to not have her show up until like the beginning of the third act.
Huh.
I think like the opening scene was going to be her talking to Poe or something like that. Which would make sense with her going, never underestimate a droid. Let's see, you're saying that, I'd be like, you should give the plans to BB-8 so we can just do Episode 4 again.
So what else?
I'm trying to think. If there's anything. So there's been a lot of leaks with this movie, and from what I've heard, almost all the leaks people have read have been fake. All the leaks I read actually happened in the movie, though. Which the leaks I read like a year ago. So I was like, these can't be real. But Harrison Ford coming back was spoiled for me. The scene where they de-age Luke and Leia, that was spoiled. And then I don't know if anything else was. Yeah. So Star Wars is kind of ended on a weird note. And one thing that I haven't heard anyone complain about, but I'm sure I'm about to, is this movie kind of messes up the whole thing that was set up in the prequels about Anakin being the chosen one. People are like, well, if Anakin was the chosen one to kill Palpatine, how come Palpatine came back and then was killed by Rey? Well, here's my question. First off, how did Rey kill Palpatine without getting possessed by Palpatine? Or, like, was that not even a thing? Do you think Palpatine, like, screwed up? It was like, it says in this book that if Rey kills me, I will be able to possess her body. But, like, it was total bullcrap. What if that's how the movie ended? I don't know. Sorry. But in the prequels, they spend a lot of time talking about how Anakin's the chosen one. And then he turns evil, so you're like, oh, maybe he's not the chosen one. But then he kills the Emperor, and he balances the Force. And this movie kind of messes that up, I guess. That being said, the prequels are a mess, so they should be treated as such. And to be honest, the sequels are kind of a mess as well.
Yeah. You just can't win.
Nope.
Well, I mean, outside of the original trilogy.
Do you think it's weird, though, that we're ending on 9? Don't you think that they should make one more, just have Star Wars Episode 10, and then you can say that, like, I don't know, I just feel like 10 is a better number to end on.
Yeah, but I mean, just what would they do?
Star Wars Episode 10 prologue. I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely did. Like, they ended on 9 because, you know, the original trilogy was a trilogy.
Yeah.
Prequel trilogy was a trilogy. And now they're just, like, saying, let's just do another trilogy. I mean, granted, Disney probably would have, if they had the option, extended out another video, or another movie, but, like, it's...
I don't think people don't want these, you know? People don't
like,
want continuations of the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's
people don't really want continuations of even like Solo. Like, Solo flopped, you know? He's one of, like, the fans' biggest characters, but, you know, not a lot of people like that movie. And then you have The Mandalorian, which everybody is, like, praising out the wazoo. So, I mean, I think that Disney's safest bet is just focus on the TV shows for a while. And when you do make a movie, make it as far unrelated as you can get, you know?
Yeah, like, not a main character.
Yeah, don't do a main character.
Nothing like that.
If you are going to do a main character, do it during the prequels, because you can't mess up the prequels, you know? Those movies are already bad.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people want to see Knights of the Old Republic. So, I mean, we'll probably do that at some point. There's
a Qui-Gon Jinn movie they were talking about for the longest time.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's still happening.
Probably not.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. Then there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie,
which
probably
there's a Boba Fett movie they were looking into.
I wonder if that's that turned into the Mandalorian.
I think that did. From what I've heard, there's like some story that the guy who was supposed to like direct it or something showed up late to a meeting, and because that Disney canceled it, there's like, yeah, no, we're not going to work with this guy. Probably not true, but funny story nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I think the future for Star Wars is with Disney Plus right now.
Pretty much.
And then you can make, I wouldn't even call it a spin-off, just make something that takes place in the universe but far away.
Kind of like the idea with Marvel Netflix shows, which allegedly take place in the same universe but don't really have as much to do with it.
Yeah.
Like the MCU.
That'd probably be the best way to do it. And also, I mean, there's tons of Star Wars books and comics out there that, I know Kathleen Kennedy, who the owner of Lucasfilms, she said like in an interview like this year, she's like, well, we have a harder time making Star Wars movies because we're not like Marvel. We don't have novels or comics to base our stuff off of. Which just shows that this lady does not know what's going on at all, because there are so many Star Wars books and comics out there.
If they actually went with any of the books, they would have had the trilogy written already.
Yeah.
Like before they even started. It's like, crap, what was... There was like a book series with Han and Leia's kids. I forget what it was.
There's
called.
A lot of ones with them, actually.
Jason
well,
Jaina.
This is actually pretty interesting, is how much a lot of Rise of Skywalker, I say a lot, but not a ton, is kind of, because there was a trilogy of books about the Emperor coming back, and I guess they based this one off that, sort of. I can't say which one's better or worse, because they're kind of both messes, but the Emperor coming back has happened in the books before.
So it has like more Death Stars, right?
Oh, there's always more. People complain when like Episode 7 came out. They're like, "What? They're just doing the Death Star again?" But like, if you read like any Star Wars book, it's always another Death Star. There was one that was called like the Eye of Palpatine, and they blow it up, and they're like, "Well, Palpatine did have two eyes, so." There's a second one. even in the Palpatine clone books I'm talking about, they had, I think it was like they had some weapon that was called like the Planet Crusher. And like, this is way more powerful than the Death Star. It's just like a bunch of boxes that fly into planets. So like super weapons were always being shown all the time. I mean, even Chewbacca, when he died in the books, it was because he was like on a planet and he got like a moon thrown at him and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean...
The books were... Everyone says, like, oh, well, they should have made it like the books, because the books were good. I'm like, most of the books were not good. Like, they were passable, but they weren't good. I mean, the one that I'm sure someone's going to bring up is the Thrawn trilogy, which is kind of like the holy grail of Star Wars books. The thing is that with those ones, they take place pretty close after Episode 6. And I think that's the main reason why they didn't try to make something along those lines. Because, well, all of the actors from the original trilogy are old now, so you can't really do a story about Luke and Han's first baby, because they're old now. They've had a bunch of babies in real life now.
Luke and Han's first baby.
Luke and Han's, yeah.
The way you word that.
Sorry. They're twins. I get them mixed up all the time.
Oh, my.
Han and Leia's kids. Or is it Leia? Who knows?
I always heard Leia.
Yeah, it is. If you watch Episode 4, though, they call her Leia a ton. At least C-3PO does. Like, oh, Princess Leia is here.
And Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin, too.
That might be a British thing.
Maybe. I know that Princess Leia was faking a British accent in Episode 4, and then it just kind of goes away.
Pulling a Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 years before the fact.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, well.
So it's over now, you know? We don't have to worry about people complaining about these new Star Wars movies. We don't have to worry about another Star Wars movie for like at least another 2 years.
Yep.
We can just relax now.
Yep, it's been 14 years since the last trilogy ended.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 04 or 05?
I think it was 05, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, 15, 14 years. And I don't know. I don't remember how it was the last time because I was a child.
Yeah, as a kid, Revenge of the Sith was the coolest movie I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk to a grown up, they're like, "Yeah, I didn't really like it as much." I'm like, "Man, these grown ups are insane because General Grievous uses 4 lightsabers." Oh, speaking of lightsabers, was there anything in the new trilogy that you wanted to see that never came? Like, just like little things.
Little things?
Yeah, like...
I don't know, because I didn't really go in with any expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go into any of these movies with these, but just little things I always wanted to see. I always wanted to see, at least some Jedi dude that uses just 2 lightsabers, just dual wields all the time. And it's a really simple concept, but it hasn't been done in any of the movies. The only time it is done is, I guess Rey's technically holding 2, but all she does is block the Emperor's lightsaber. And then Anakin uses 2 for a little bit in Attack of the Clones, but that lightsaber fight is shot in a really weird way, so, like, it's easy to miss.
Doesn't, what's her name? Ayla Secura? Doesn't she have 2?
She does in the video games, not in the movies.
Yeah, because she's only on screen for, like, all of 2 seconds in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So we never really got to see any character that just uses 2 lightsabers all the time. And then we never got to see, like... I don't know. I just always expected that they would do, at some part, a lightsaber, like, gang fight where there'd be, like, one person against, like, 5 people with red lightsabers. Which I figured the Knights of Ren were all going to pull out lightsabers because they're supposed to be Jedi, but they just pull out, like, sticks and die. And what's really lame is I didn't notice this, but 2 of the Knights of Ren, they just use guns. They just walk around with guns the whole time. I'm like, so you're, like, an ex-Jedi and you use a gun? Like, what is this? Is this Kyle Katarn? Is this Star Wars Dark Forces?
Yeah.
Put that away. Get your lightsaber out. Stop. Why does Kylo Ren have a weird looking lightsaber and none of you have lightsabers?
Really?
Yeah. There's still stuff they can do. Like a lot of people are making comments about like, oh, Star Wars has done everything at this point. They can't continue it. But there's still stuff you can do in those movies.
Yeah.
There's enough in the Star Wars universe to keep making films. Just try to play it safe, guys.
Yeah, I mean, right now they definitely need to just
give
it some time.
Yeah, and this was something that I've always thought. I mean, you can't really release a Star Wars movie every year. They're not like the Marvel movies,
Yeah.
Seeing a Star Wars movie is kind of more of like, sort of like an event, And I felt like they'd do better if they spaced them out. And because I always felt like if you put them all close together, then people would just get tired of them. And that's kind of why Solo flopped, I think. It's because it came out 6 months after The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, even the prequel trilogy had like 2 years between movies, but that was an actual 2 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, with a side movie in between.
There was the Clone Wars cartoon, but nobody was watching that because it was barely on.
Yeah, I didn't realize how poorly that movie did.
I was talking about in between 2 and 3, how there was...
Oh, that one. I was thinking of the CGI one.
First off, the 2-dimensional one is awesome. You should definitely watch it. But when it was on, it was hard to watch because it was a mini show, and they would only play like each episode like once. So like unless you missed the 5-minute bit, then you missed it. I mean, I say that you can go online and rewatch the episodes, but that was only if you knew that.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't marketed towards... Everyone was marketed towards kids that were watching Cartoon Network. So it was like me, and that's it who watched it.
Yeah. So I didn't have cable at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I do anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that on Disney Plus?
Oh, I wish. It is not. But it's all on YouTube.
Okay.
And I think it's in decent quality too, but surprisingly that show has never received a re-release. It came out on both seasons you can get on DVD, but they never came out on Blu-ray.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I know, because it really is a good show. And you'd think that with the amount of attention it has, I suppose it doesn't have as much as the other show, but you think that would have received some kind of re-release or put on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, or Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever Cartoon Network uses to stream stuff.
Adult Swim app? I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like if they did bring it back, that's where it'd be. That's where all of Tarkovsky's other stuff's been recently.
Yeah. Did they add the earlier seasons of Samurai Jack? Or is it just the last one?
I think it was just the last one, but
okay.
I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of...
I know you can buy them all at Walmart, or at least you could.
Yeah. Or on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. weird tonal shift though if you had all of them. Just go from I don't know, whatever.
Season 3 to season 4.
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
dark. I still haven't watched all those. I should do that someday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yep, just Rise of Skywalker, like I said, 2.5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10 since I usually go out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like I said, I didn't go in with any expectations.
I think that's the best way to go into this movie.
Pretty much. Like, you just have to expect anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can enjoy it. You're not going to be bored while watching it. Just you might say why.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say this movie will disappoint anyone. It's just a whole lot of why.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole point of like not going in with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to be disappointed when you don't have a bar that you set at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which I guess is how I went into The Last Jedi, and it was kind of the same deal.
Mm-hmm.
Except that, I don't know. They both had a lot of dumb stuff that
happened.
Okay. Yep, that is that.
So that's the end of the year.
Yep, so end of season 3.
End
much.
of Star Wars, end of Rambo, end of season 3. Should we try to do like a best movies or video games we watched this year?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Okay, so yeah, just the ground rules, since I guess this could be like, it doesn't have to necessarily be from this year, but I guess we can say specifically, this from 2019 or that from, overall. So yeah, because I might not have like a new game that I played this year.
Yeah.
I forget if I played anything from 2019. I don't know. I'll let you start so I can think about that.
Yeah. So, now. I think the rules here, this doesn't have to be something that came out this year, just something that we experienced this year. One thing that should be mentioned, the new Bumblebee movie is the first Transformers movie to respect the original series, and it's taken a long time for us to get there, so I think that movie deserves a little respect for that. Obviously, Spider-Verse, again, that didn't come out this year, and that was a really incredible movie. Lego Movie 2 was a lot of fun as well. That's a movie I feel like that didn't get enough praise. Obviously, you know what my favorite movie of the year was. It's the new Godzilla movie, but that's just because I'm cheap and I have to love the new Godzilla movie. Again, the first one to bring Godzilla back to the campiness of the original series. Lots of fun. Still really stupid. Not the best Godzilla movie. Other topic of Godzilla, they released Criterion, I think it's Criterion 100, which was the Blu-ray remasters of the original series.
Which we talked about earlier on.
Yeah, I think so.
That or Ultraman. I forget if we mentioned Godzilla too.
Yeah, they came out with Ultraman as well. I haven't watched any of the Ultraman stuff, but I have watched some of the new Godzilla Blu-rays. They're really good with the exception of, like, some of them, whenever the shot changes, it'll flash white and it'll give you a headache. It's like, yeah. But aside from that, it's really cool that this is something that exists, that they've been able to go through and remaster the old Godzilla movies. I wish that they would remaster the American versions of them, just because those are the ones I grew up with. And there's a lot of scenes and stuff that, I don't know, I've always felt nostalgic too, that I kind of wish I'd like to see those get remastered, but I don't think that ever will happen, because obviously the Japanese way is, the version is the way it's supposed to be watched. Ford versus Ferrari, I did not watch it, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
I usually try to watch at least one movie that will get nominated for an Oscar. I think this year is going to be the first year I don't in a long time. And then the biggest movie of the year was Avengers Endgame, which I don't think it's the best Avengers movie. But you know what? I'm glad that I got to be around to see this movie come out, because it was big and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even see it in theaters. I still, had a decent time. Yeah. Waited until it came out on DVD, which took forever. Definitely milking it.
I'm trying to think what video games came out this year. I know there was one video game I was really excited for that was supposed to come out this year, called Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
it was so... Okay, so they spent like all this time this year. They're like, this is this is the year of Doom. It's the 20th anniversary, even though it's not. And they're like
15th
or something like whatever. They said it was like some anniversary, and technically it wasn't. Like they were off a year. But they're like, we got Sigil coming out, the new chapter for the original Doom, and we've got the new Doom movie coming out, and then to finish it off, Doom Eternal.
I think it was supposed to be 25.
25, yeah.
Because Doom like 1993, yeah.
Yeah. So, Doom Eternal did not come out this year.
Nope.
The Doom movie, no one cared about.
Yeah.
And Sigil actually was pretty cool. I haven't beaten it on single player yet, but Sigil was cool. I'm glad that happened.
Yep, I still have yet to try that out. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some other games that came out. I mean, there's a lot of games that came out that I didn't play.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Friggin' Modern Warfare got a reboot that it didn't actually need. Mm-hmm. And
I remember I came out, it was the day before the game was supposed to be released, and my friend was playing it. And I'm like, how is it? He's like, oh, it's great. It runs perfectly smooth. And like he like phased through a wall. I was like, there we go. That's the Call of Duty I remember.
Yeah. Oh,
those games were glitchy enough when they were released. I can only imagine if you got it before it was released.
Yep. To this day, I still refuse to connect Black Ops 2 to the internet or to Xbox Live because I do not want it to be updated. I want it to be a permanent time capsule to show people how not to make a video game.
Oh my god!
like why testing is important.
That was like an idea for like one of our first videos was just to show off the glitchy gameplay. We still have never done that.
Yeah, because I mean we do have a capture card.
Yeah,
it's just not an HD one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else came out this year? The Resident Evil 2 remake, which again neither of us played. I actually haven't played through the original Resident Evil 2 yet. I mean, just this past week I beat the original Resident Evil. That was pretty fun.
So is it the Master Chief Collection sort of got its release on PC? I definitely bought it the day it came out and then played it once, and I haven't played it since. Which is sad because, I mean, I already made a huge rant about how much Halo needs to come to the PC. But now that it's here, I'm kind of like, well, I never really cared for Reach that much anyways. But the game itself runs really smooth. It's really well executed. Like, I think that's the right word. It runs great, which in my video I made a year ago, I was saying that when it comes out, it's going to be a total bug fest, and it isn't. So, good job, 343. You surprised me. You made a good game, or at least you made a good game from 10 years ago.
Yeah. Did you try the multiplayer yet, or is it not?
No. I've done the multiplayer.
Okay.
They don't have Forge yet, but you can go into the coding and change like one number, and you can do Forge.
Okay. So as far as like favorite movie or the best movie I saw this past year. So what did I see that was new? So I definitely saw the new Star Wars, saw the new Rambo. Definitely wouldn't consider those the best movie I've seen. But and then other than that, it was Endgame.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe I would have to say Endgame. But the actual best movie I saw this year didn't even come out this year. In fact, I forget when it came out. But I saw Hereditary. What's the best way to describe it?
It's kind of it's a possession type movie, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's best way to describe it is not really reimagining. It's in the same vein as The Shining. It's like a paranormal horror film involving a family. Yeah. So yeah, that was a really good film. Kind of messed me up a bit. But yeah, I definitely recommend watching it if I don't know.
I think the best movie, maybe not my favorite, I saw this year was Jojo Rabbit, which if you know what that movie is, you know what the movie is. But
yeah,
the best way to watch it is just to go in not knowing what it's about, and then about 2 seconds into the movie, you'll be like, "WTF am I watching?"
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, definitely Hereditary. So I think Well, I did not watch a lot of new movies this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I sort of feel like this year was kind of a slow year for movies. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say there was a ton of quote unquote great movies that really came out. I mean,
Yeah.
it seemed kind of slow. Like there was Glass that came out. That was a lot of fun. And then there really wasn't any movies after that. That was in January. And then Captain Marvel and Shazam were both like in March and April. Then you had Endgame, which just like blew up the whole freaking movie market and stole everybody else's movies. Like the movies that came out around the same time as Endgame, like I don't even think anybody watched.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Detective Pikachu. I think there was a bunch of summer blockbusters in like the beginning of the summer, like in May, which was the wrong time to have them.
Yeah.
And then there was like none after that. Like I don't remember there was like any great movies coming out in June. Spider-Man 2 was lame. I don't care about it. Stranger Things 3 was pretty fun, I guess, but that didn't come out into theaters.
Yeah, that's a TV show.
Yeah, and there like wasn't like I mean I guess in October they had Joker. I think there was one other movie that came out around then that I was kind of excited for, Doctor Sleep or something. So I guess you had some like towards the end of the year, but I don't know.
Did Doctor Sleep come out this year?
Yeah, it came out this year.
Holy crap, that's another movie I haven't heard anything about.
Well, it came out like after Halloween, which
Yeah.
is stupid because it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, everyone that I talked to that saw it really liked it, but it got bad reviews.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's the case. I mean, I know we talked about it when the initial trailer came out, but I do not remember.
Nobody liked the new Stephen King It movie. I can tell you that much.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours long. It's just, and all the reviews I saw just like tore it apart.
Just part 2 or like part 1 and 2 together?
It's part 2.
Okay.
I think it still has like the kids in it, but
All right. Because I thought the first part was like kind of well received.
I thought, well, everybody loved the first part, but the second part, the one that came out this year, wasn't nearly as well received. Which like surprised me because when the first one came out, nobody would shut up about that movie. It was going on forever. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's like the new Pennywise has eclipsed the Tim Curry one.
Yeah, like, you could not escape that movie. Like people were talking about it like months after it came out. So I figured the second one was going to be like the exact same thing, but it didn't.
It did not.
Mm-hmm.
Then as far as like, there was a new Terminator this year, which did as well as everybody expected.
Mm-hmm. Which is really a shame. I feel like.
Yeah, it's like I thought about seeing that like in theaters along with the Rambo movie, but I don't know. It's just like either it had a very limited window when I could see it. It's like I don't go to like big chain movie theaters too often. It's like I go up to one in Michigan, which, well, it's $5 for the ticket all the time. So
that's
it's like I'd rather do
with,
that
with a drink and popcorn.
Yeah. So like if it's not there, I can't. And if I can, like encourage my family to go see it. Like I mean, my dad would probably want to watch it, but like still. There's like a limited window, which I guess is a bigger factor.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why I didn't see Joker, because I don't know if it came to that theater. My dad would have hated that movie probably because it's not an action movie.
No.
But yeah. Oh.
So going into the next year, what things are you most excited for?
Well, definitely Doom Eternal.
Yes, Doom Eternal, definitely that.
We got 3 more months to wait for that. Almost 4 months.
Yeah. Let's hope it comes out on time.
Yeah. As far as movies go, I guess we have Bond, No Time to Die.
Yeah.
I won't say I'm like very ecstatic to see it, but you know, I'll go try to watch it in theaters. Maybe worst comes to worst, just see it on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Godzilla versus King Kong again, another franchise, another thing that keeps getting postponed. Doesn't come out like in November, so I'm definitely going to watch that.
Yeah.
I hope it does. I hope it does well.
Yeah. Is that tied to the
last one? Yeah.
Okay.
Was like King Kong's in the last one, but like he doesn't do anything.
Oh. Okay.
And like it's time for Godzilla and King Kong to have a rematch because Godzilla versus Kong. Well, first off, that is not a good Godzilla movie. It's so stupid.
Okay.
And we'll probably do a video on that actually.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, my top game of 2019.
No, let's hear it.
So, again, I didn't really play that many new games this year, so I would have to say, my top game for this year would be Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night.
Nice.
It's like the full version of the game. I still haven't fully beaten it yet. I did get the bad ending. I should have, saw it coming. Because when you get to a character you think is supposed to be the final boss in a Castlevania-style game and fight them and win and get an ending, that's usually not the ending you're supposed to get. There's usually more trickery involved, and I haven't been able to get back to it soon. I mean, if I had played through Resident Evil before this year, or Resident Evil 2, I probably would have played the remake, would have called that my number one pick. Other than that, I did not really play that many new video games. Could kind of count the original Resident Evil, but I started playing that back in 2016 or so. I just didn't beat it until now. Did a full playthrough. Maybe Silent. I forget if I played through the third Silent Hill or not. The end of last year or the beginning of this past year. I forget. But no, it's definitely Bloodstained.
That's good. It's good that Bloodstained turned out good.
Yeah, it could have been better, but I don't know. I think it's good for what we get. It'll at least tell, developers, hey, this is the kind of game we like. It'll tell Koji Igarashi, hey, maybe a sequel, please. Yeah, the one thing about
maybe one that's not a mobile game.
Yes, please. That still hasn't come out yet. Grimoire of Souls, but I don't know. Maybe if that comes out next year, we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's yeah.
There we go. So that's 2019. That's our recap. So
the recap you did not expect.
Yeah. What a weird year.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's try to do more in 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Let's. How about you earn that title? Let's make this a good year. I don't want this to be a horrible year.
No,
I don't know. I just think back to 2016, which was the last leap year. That year was insane. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That was like the new 2009.
Alrighty. So,
in conclusion, I give this year a 4 out of 5. Just kidding. It's a 1 out of 5.
Yeah. Okay. So, yep. We'll probably start back up again whenever.
Yeah, whenever Castlevania 3 comes out.
Yeah, Season 3. Holy crap.
Cow.
That should have been out in October, but you know how it is.
Uzumaki is going to be coming out here soon as well.
Yep. Look forward to that. We might even do a review of the manga.
We might do a review of a manga and the movie, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got good stuff ahead of us.
Yep. So, yep, thanks for sticking around. This podcast experiment was pretty different, I'd say.
Yeah, this is longer than I expected it to be.
Yep. Probably continue this format a bit more. Maybe hopefully try to make some actual videos too.
Yeah, we should probably get back into that.
Yeah. So we got more we can do. We just got to motivate ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, don't feel bad to leave comments, because I found that when people tell me to make a video, I'm more motivated to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Not just you, Greg. Other people too. And then if there's something you like about what we do, let us know. Something you don't like, we might laugh at you for it if it's something stupid. But I don't know.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.